thought with the hot weather that we're having, I would tell a story that will question, will leave questions in my head for the rest of my life. Have you ever had a personal encounter that you may perceive to be some sort of paranormal event because things just don't line up? Well, that happened in the early part of the 2010s, possibly 2013, 2014. One summer's night. Well, when I say night, I mean 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning. I'm in my apartment on the outskirts of London, Derry, Northern Ireland, and I can't sleep. Gotta remember, we're not in the US where people try to get heat out of their houses. Our houses are designed to keep the heat in. So I'm trying to sleep, I can't. I'm very restless, so I decide I'm going to get up, and the air is slightly cooler outside my apartment, so maybe if I go for a walk I'll feel tired and I'll go to sleep. Down from my apartment was a place called Phillip Street, and it's a row of terraced houses. Now there's another street behind that, can't remember what it's called, similar sort of thing, really old red brick houses, and I'm going to bring up a picture of it right here. If my technology will work, which I hope it does, it's just taking its time. There we go. And it's coming across here now. Here is Phillip Street. And my encounter happened on this little back street right here. Right here is a plastics factory. This is Phillip Street. Now, you can see a kind of a light colour on the footpath here. That basically would bring you to the back of these houses. There's little gates to the back of these little gardens on both streets. You can see in the background, you can see the back right here of the other houses on this other street. Now, similar to this street, on this other street, where you see the light here, this is the road for these houses here. And you can walk right along this street, go across the road and go right up to what used to be an old factory. It was an old textile factory. It's now SuperValu and a row of apartments. Now, it's 2:30, 3 o'clock in the morning. I come from this direction here, I come down here, and I'm standing right here. And I'm about to go up here. In the distance, I see a lady, small old lady, coming from this other street here, and she's way in the distance, and she's coming this way, coming towards me. Now, she gets to about here, I get to about here, and the closer I get to this lady, things aren't adding up, if you know what I'm saying. Gotta remember, it's a blistering heat wave. Even at night time it's hot. And I look in the distance, this little small lady is wearing a very old-fashioned rain hat and a raincoat right down into her feet. And I'm going to bring up a picture. If I can bring it, both of them together, it'd be great. Here we go. As the nearest thing I could get, this kind of attire here. Now, it's not 100% accurate because I don't think there was a belt here. What there was a kind of a what would you say, a shawl part to this coat. It went down to about the elbows, came straight across here. That sort of thing. Really old-fashioned type of coat. And she had this kind of hat. Now, this part of the hat was over her face. I could see about from there down. Part of her face, and couldn't see her eyes or mouth or anything like that. This part was right down. And she was very small in build, had a bit of a stoop, a bit of a, you know, an arch in her back. She was kind of looking at on the ground. Can I make this smaller, or can I get rid of it? Well, I just brought up this to show you a similar sort of attire, but it's not 100% accurate because it had a, do you know, like one of them coats you would see in Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. That kind of thing. But this is sort of close to that. It certainly is close to it with the hat and stuff. Now, you got to remember, it's midsummer. It's absolutely scorching hot. It's a heat wave. We're not used to that kind of heat. She's walking towards me. I'm walking towards her. And I get to here. And she is close. And the closer she gets, a little bit of fear kicks in because things aren't sort of adding up. The first question I have is, what would an old lady be doing out at 2:30 to 3 o'clock in the morning? And two, why would she be wearing rain attire on a blistering hot night? So I get to here. Here is a T-junction. Here's where the little small laneway goes to the back of these houses. She's coming close. She's over on this side of the footpath. She's walking towards me. And I'm getting really, really close. And what I'm expecting is I'm expecting some sort of sound of footsteps. I hear absolutely nothing. It's like she's gliding past me. Things aren't adding up. And I get to here, which is the width of the side of the house plus the garden. So you got the width of the house and the garden. I'm up here. Now, it's going to take at least, for this old lady at the speed she's travelling, it's going to take her about at least 15 to 20 seconds to get out on the street here. But that doesn't happen, does it? This is where it gets scary. I'm walking along here and I slow down and I kind of come to a little bit of a stop right here because this lady is coming this way. And we come level. She's over here, I'm over here, and I look at the corner of my eye and I say hello. I get nothing back. Absolutely nothing. She didn't reply to me or nothing. And I said it with a bit of fear in my voice because when I seen the raincoat, it was like this lady had been in a rain shower. There's drops of rain on this raincoat. It's shining. You can see the spots of rain on this coat. And I get a detailed description. The rain hat, the long, very old-fashioned type coat, kind of a what I would say is kind of a dark brown to a dark greenish kind of colour. At the time, there was kind of the street lights were kind of orange around this area, as far as I know, and that could have played up with my sense of colour. But you know, we're talking about dark colours. We're talking about dark brown, dark green, whatever. We come level. She's coming this way. I say hello. She says nothing. And I'm looking at her. I'm about 2.5 to 3 feet away from this woman, and I see the spots of, you know, pools of water on this coat, and it's glistening. And I'm going, this doesn't make any flipping sense, like. And just as she passes me, I turn around, and guess what? She's not there anymore. This is within 2 seconds of me saying hello. I say hello to her when I'm level with her. About a second, turn around. This lady has gone. It would take her at least, at the speed she was travelling, 15 to 20 seconds to get from here to out on the street here. I'm trying to look at it in a logic kind of way. Do you know, yes, you could say that, you know, old ladies, they get cold very easy. But this is blistering hot. And it's a rain hat and a raincoat. And why was it wet? And how come this lady disappeared within 2 seconds of her passing me at this point here? Now obviously when I'm at this point here, I can actually see up there. She didn't go up here, she went past me, came this way. So where did she go? Where did she go? I turn around, nothing there. I start walking fast out onto the street here. I've had enough. Go back up the street on this other side, back to my apartment, and obviously I didn't sleep after that. Let's bring up the picture again. Obviously, I try to find a picture close. Obviously this is a young woman, but I'm just giving you a kind of a rough idea of what this woman was wearing. This bowler type hat. Now, this is a modern photograph, and sometimes fashions go back to the old days of stuff. But it was certainly very strange. There was water on this cap, there was water down here, you know, and then you got, instead of this to the coat, there was this shawl, like the Sherlock Holmes kind of thing. Certainly scared the life out of me. I don't know what to say about it. There's not an awful lot I can do about it years ahead, except carry around questions possibly for the rest of my life. Was that woman in a physical form? Was she a ghost? Was she a residual recording that I just experienced, because she didn't interact with me? There was no footsteps. It was like she floated past me, which I noticed very, very clearly. It was like she floated past me with absolutely no sound. That actually amped up my fear an awful lot. But that is one of my little encounters. And one of those things that, you know, it's one of these encounters that you will probably carry around for the rest of your life, asking questions that you will never find answers to. Just thought I would share that because, you know, it's just sort of interesting. But it would be interesting if some of these people in these houses possibly get experiences too. There's somebody I knew that lived in one of these houses. I actually told her, and it kind of freaked her out. Maybe I shouldn't have said anything. But anyway, folks, I'm going to leave that one for today and talk to you soon. Goodbye.